Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills, there lived an old sage named Arav. He was known throughout the land for his wisdom, and people from near and far would seek his guidance. Arav had a unique perspective on life, and he often shared stories to impart his wisdom. One bright morning, a group of villagers gathered at Arav's humble abode. They were troubled by the behavior of someone in the village, a man named Ravi, who had been causing unrest and distress among the community. Arav listened to their grievances and decided to share a story that would shed light on the importance of not respecting those who exhibit certain negative qualities. Arav began his tale. Long ago, in a kingdom far from here, there lived a ruler named King Vikram. He was known for his just and wise rule, and the people of his kingdom lived in harmony. However, not far from the kingdom's borders, in a neighboring land, there resided a cunning and deceitful minister named Raghav. Raghav was a master manipulator. He had a list of 7 vile habits that he practiced without remorse. These habits, he believed, were the keys to his power and success. Let me share them with you. The first habit Raghav had was lying. He would fabricate stories, twist the truth, and deceive anyone for his own gain. This was a quality he took pride in, believing that lies were the foundation of his power. The second habit was betrayal. Raghav had a knack for luring people into his trust, only to stab them in the back when it served his interests. He thought betrayal made him untouchable. The third habit was manipulation. Raghav had a way of convincing people to do his bidding, even if it went against their better judgment. He would use their weaknesses against them and manipulate them into serving his purposes. The fourth habit was greed. Raghav was insatiable in his desire for wealth and power. He would hoard resources and manipulate situations to amass riches, even at the expense of others. The fifth habit was arrogance. Raghav believed himself to be superior to everyone around him. He dismissed the wisdom of others and was blind to his own flaws. The sixth habit was cruelty. Raghav took pleasure in causing pain and suffering to those who crossed his path. He saw it as a way to establish fear and dominance. The seventh habit was ego. Raghav's ego was as vast as the ocean. He demanded constant praise and admiration, and he could not tolerate any criticism or dissent. Now, back to King Vikram's kingdom. Despite being wise, King Vikram had a soft spot for Raghav. He believed that every person could change, and he respected Raghav's intelligence. He hoped that by showing kindness and trust, Raghav might reform his ways, but Raghav took advantage of the king's kindness. He used his lies to sow discord among the king's advisors, betraying those who trusted him. His manipulation influenced decisions that favored his own greed, and his arrogance led him to disregard the well-being of the kingdom's people. As time passed, the kingdom fell into turmoil. The people suffered and King Vikram's rule was undermined by Raghav's actions. The cruelty and suffering inflicted by Raghav's greed, manipulation, and betrayal knew no bounds. The kingdom's once thriving prosperity began to wither, yet King Vikram continued to respect Raghav, hoping that his good nature would eventually prevail. The king's advisors, however, were deeply troubled by the havoc Raghav was wreaking. They approached the sage of the land, who was none other than me, Arav. I was summoned to the court and asked for my counsel. I told them that respecting a person who exhibited these 7 destructive qualities would lead to ruin. I advised the king to remove Raghav from his trusted circle and bring justice to those who had suffered at his hands. With great reluctance, King Vikram realized the wisdom in my words. He took action to remove Raghav from his court, and the minister's true nature was revealed to the people. Raghav's lies, betrayal, manipulation, greed, arrogance, cruelty, and ego were laid bare for all to see. The kingdom began to heal as justice was served, and the people could once again trust in the fairness and wisdom of their ruler. King Vikram learned the valuable lesson that respecting those who exhibit such destructive qualities can have dire consequences for a kingdom and its people, and so, my dear villagers, the lesson is clear. Do not respect those who embrace lies, betrayal, manipulation, greed, arrogance, cruelty, and ego. These qualities can only lead to suffering and chaos. It is through wisdom and discernment that we can protect our communities and create a better world for ourselves and future generations. With that, Arav concluded his story, and the villagers left his abode with a deeper understanding of the importance of respecting those who embody virtuous qualities, rather than enabling those who practice destructive habits. The story of King Vikram and the cunning minister Raghav served as a timeless lesson in the pursuit of justice, integrity, and wisdom.